Chapter 11 Rip Van Winkle. Before we read, Rip Van Winkle was a simple villager. He was a gentle fellow and helped others. He slept for 20 years under the influence of a strange drink. When he regained his conscience and returned to the village, he found everything changed there. Let's read his story and learn more about him. Many years ago, there lived a man called Rip Van Winkle in a little village of America. He was very gentle and kind. The villagers liked him because he was always willing to help others and ready to do all their petty jobs. The children shouted with joy whenever Rip came along, for they knew that he liked nothing better than taking part in their games. He made toys for them and taught them to fly kites and to play marbles. Often he would sit in the cool shade of a tree and tell them fine tales of Indian fairies and witches. One thing made Rip unhappy, and that was work. Rip disliked hard work. It was the reason he was very poor and his wife and children were always hungry and ill-clad. His little farm too was badly kept. Weeds grew all over it. The fences were broken down and his cows were always going astray. His wife was much annoyed with his habits. Day by day, she would scold her husband. "What an idle, good-for-nothing fellow you are," she would cry. "Why can't you do a little work on your farm instead of playing with the village children or sleeping?" But Rip would not say a word in reply. Instead, he would go to the village once more and wait there until his wife's temper had cooled down. One day, everything went wrong with Rip when his wife scolded him more than she had ever done before. This time, Rip didn't go to the village as usual. Instead, taking his gun upon his shoulder and calling his faithful dog Wolf, he set off to wander among the woods and hills. He lay down on a grassy bank and stayed there till late in the afternoon. As the sun was setting, Rip rose to go. "Come, Wolf," he said to his faithful dog. "Let's go home now. Perhaps her temper has cooled by this time, though I fear that she may have something to say to us for staying away so long." They were about to walk down the hill when a voice called out from behind, "Rip Van Winkle." Bewildered, Rip looked all around. At first he saw nothing but a crow. Then he noticed a long way off a strange little man with a keg upon his shoulders. "Rip Van Winkle, Rip Van Winkle," the voice called out again. Rip walked across the hillside until he came near the man. "Did you call me, sir?" Rip asked with wonder. The man didn't reply. Instead, he made a sign as if to say, "Please carry this heavy keg up the hill for me." Now Rip thought he was idle in his own home and did not care for hard work, was always ready to help other people. So he took the keg upon his shoulder and both men began to trudge up the hill. After walking a long distance, they came to a hollow among the hills. Rip saw a crowd of men. They were playing a game of 9 pins, and the ball, as they rolled along, made a noise like thunder. They were strange men too. One had a large head, a broad face, and small eyes, like the eyes of a pig. Another had a face which seemed to be all nose. The leader was a fat old fellow with a sunburnt face. He wore a laced jacket, a broad belt, a sword, and a high hat with a feather in it, red stockings and high-heeled shoes. As soon as the men saw the keg, they stopped their game. The little man who had come with Rip opened the keg and from it poured out a drink for each of them. Then he made a sign to Rip to hand out the cups. The man seemed to be thirsty because of the game. They drank eagerly. Then back they went to their game, the 9 pins. Rip was thirsty too, but they didn't think of giving him a drink. So when nobody was looking, Rip took one sip from the keg. "A good drink to be sure," he whispered to himself. Then he took a little more and then a little more. Before long, Rip began to feel quite drowsy. Then he fell fast asleep. When Rip woke up, he found himself still on the green hillside. He rubbed his eyes because it was a bright sunny morning. The birds were hopping and chirping among the bushes, and an eagle was flying high in the sky above his head. "Why, I must have slept the whole night." He looked around for the men who had been playing 9 pins, but they were not to be seen anywhere. His dog, Wolf, had vanished too, but his gun was still lying beside him. Rip was surprised to see that it was eaten away with rust and almost falling to pieces. Rip stood up, lifted his rusty gun, and went to look for the men whom he had seen the night before. "They have played some mean trick on me," said he in anger. "I shall give them what they deserve." For an hour or so, Rip hunted among the hills and valleys, but he could find neither the queer little men nor the place where they had played their game. At last, feeling very tired and stiff, he set off for the village. "I expect that Dame will half kill me for staying out all night," he said as he trudged along. When Rip reached the village, there were more surprises waiting for him. The shops were strange and the houses had changed. Rip did not know the people whom he met in the village street, and their clothes were of a kind which he had never seen before. The children laughed and the dogs barked at him as he walked along. To tell the truth, it was no wonder for what they did, for Rip's beard had grown very thick and his clothes were tattered and torn. At last, Rip became irritated. He turned around and cried to the people who stared at him. "I am Rip Van Winkle. Does nobody here know me?" Just then, a young woman came along. "Did you say Rip Van Winkle?" she said. "My father was called by that name. One day, when I was a little girl, he went away to the hills with his dog Wolf and his gun. His dog came home without him, but my poor father has not been seen since that day." "How long ago was that, my good young lady?" asked Rip. "Full 20 years ago," she replied. 20 years? cried Rip. "Then I must have slept for 20 years on the hillside, though it seemed but one night to me. I am your father, Rip Van Winkle," he cried to the young woman. "The little men who played 9 pins must have been fairy men," Rip explained afterwards, "and the drink which I took from the keg must have been a magic one that sent me to sleep for 20 years. Dame had died while Rip was away, and Rip's house had also fallen down, so he went to live with his daughter. The rest of his days he spent in peace, telling stories to the village children, and we may be sure that they were better stories than ever. Glossary. Pity, simple, little, witches, enchantresses, evil women supposed to possess magical power, fairy, supernatural being, weed, wild plant, ill-clad, shabbily dressed, fences, fencing, barriers, astray, off course, annoyed, irritated, idle, lazy, inactive, temper, mood, scolded, rebuked, wander, move aimlessly, woods, forest, perhaps, probably, bewildered, confused, keg, drum, wonder, surprise, trudged, walked, hollow, cave, thunder, rumbling sound, sunburnt, tanned, stockings, long socks, eagerly, keenly, whispered, said in a low voice, drowsy, sleepy, vanished, disappeared, rusty, rusted, mean, foul, deserve, be worthy of, hunted, searched, queer, strange, tutted, worn, stared, looked fixedly,